Hello, I'm Sarah Pink and this is my little garden, and I'd like to show you around it because I grow my own food, and growing your own food is the best form of resistance because it takes you out of the corrupt government's food chain. So, let's start off here. This is my little potting table where I pot up lots of different things, including my new baby chilies and my baby tomatoes. And they'll be going into these pots a little later on. And next time, I'll show you how I do that. Coming along here, I've got my little salad bed. And in here, you can see I've got lettuces of all different types and mustard and curly kale, which curly kale has got one of the highest vitamin contents of any food. It's better than broccoli, better than everything else they tell you, and you can make really nice cow crisps out of them. At the back there are tomatoes, and next to those there are marigolds, which I'm not going to eat, but they're there as a companion plant for the tomatoes to keep all the bugs off them. Just here I just have my little fun bit. This is just fun, this is flowers, and it's one of the only areas in the garden where there aren't things that I eat, but most of the garden is edible. This is my little tiny greenhouse. This costs about £40, but it makes a lot of difference if you're growing your own food. And in here I've got a couple of house plants that I'm going to have upstairs. Some little cucumbers. This is my third attempt this year because the slugs kept eating them all. And we'll be talking about slugs at some point in the future too. And this is a wonderful pumpkin that Mr. Punk Pirate collected the seeds from our pumpkin pie last year and planted them up, and it's beautiful. Beautiful pot decorated by a wonderful little man called Morgan. There we go. There's a couple other seeds in there, I can't remember what they are. And then, as you can see, there's lots and lots of stuff and wood lying around in this garden. This isn't ever going to get into the Chelsea Flower Show, but I'm pretty hands-on and I'm pretty good at tatting. And this is just an old bit of trellis that I found. This is an old wooden box that had broken, and I'm going to basically build that, just put that on there, rebuild the bottom, and I'm going to plant some of my tomatoes in there, and they can grow up. Because if you've got things like this, even just old sticks, vertical gardening, there's a tiny little piece of floor on the ground, but it gives you all this space of growing area, which if you're trying to get yourself out of that commercial system, it's really quite handy. These, although they've been trampled on by the local foxes, are my potatoes. And once again, if you only had a balcony or something, I've got them in big plastic tubs. And you can just I think half a dozen in each, and they'll keep me going all the way through the winter. When you do plant them, they'll grow up like this. You let them grow about that tall, cover them up with soil again, and then let them grow some more. And when they start flowering, then you feed them loads of water, and that's really cool. And then we come through to the little magic garden. Just here is a wonderful wall. This whole half of the garden was covered in paving stones, these horrible concrete council park style paving stones. So when I took them all up in order to allow the earth to breathe, they were all broken up, and then I made them into this wonderful wall, which is like a big old castle wall. And when I built it, underneath there are little gaps which open up inside, so all the frogs and the toads and the little wiggly bugs can all live in there quite happily, and gives them their own little stone-walled castle of their own. Yeah, that's really cool. And then if you come down here, this hasn't grown very well. I've had to redo the grass this year, but this house will only be mown twice a year, and it's seeded with grass seeds and with British wildflower seeds. So I'll just let that grow and go mad. And over in the corner, over there, that's just a pile of sticks I top up every now and again, and that will never be touched, so that any wildlife that comes along, mostly, I must say, little mini beasts, wiggly things like beetles and bugs and things, they can all live in there. Okay, this is my tree. This is my dragon. He's lovely. He's asleep at the moment, so I'll try not to wake him. Just here, it looks like a half-completed project, which it is. These are the posts that have just been concreted into the ground. These were basically the struts from pallets, which are wonderful, and you'll see all around my garden there are lots of things made from pallets, but they're concreted into the ground. I've cut a little point on the top, and then I'm halfway. I've just started fixing the horizontals onto this, and this is just going to be a beautiful little feature just to keep people that come in away from that side of the grass. Just here I've got one of my other pretty areas again. That's really nice, just a gravel little rockery with this beautiful fern that I may accidentally have picked up from somewhere out in the beautiful magical place. And 2 more veg beds. This one's all currants and blueberries and gooseberries, and I'm putting some leeks and things round later on. And this one is full of beautiful peas, and as you can see, here's my first peas of the season. And this is some more curly cow, and these are once again marigolds. If you just keep all vegetables in something, all the bugs are going to just hone in on them. So if you mix it all up with different types, and I know the traditional thing is to have 1 bed of potatoes, 1 bed of carrots, but mix them all up. And then, like, they're little enemies that, you know, they were here before us, it's fair enough. That's Dotty Dog. And then my lovely, lovely shed, which I just shove everything in. I always keep a selection of pots handy, so if I see anything nice out, I can just pick it up if I need to take cuttings. And down here, we'll show you properly another day, but down here is the lawn, which is here for nature as much as anything else. The reason I took the stones up is because we suffer from a lot of flash floods and various other things. And the reason, one of the contributory factors to that is the fact that no water can get back into the earth. So I truly believe that we should be taking up as much concrete and paving and everything else that we can, because then when it rains, the water goes where it's meant to go and where it would have done before we were here to bugger up the planet. And it will go back down into the earth, and the plants will grow more happily, and then we'll keep the bees going and the insects going, and we probably won't die out too soon. But anyway, I'll go into all of that soon on the next one. But yeah, just take a last little look round. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you soon.